to give you the backstory on this because it'd be easy to say, oh, we're going back outside. That's great. But last time we were outside, if I'm speaking personally, and we're always teaching people like, hey, church isn't about consumerism, right? It's not how you like it. It's about what God's doing. So quit with all the I like it this way. But personally, I didn't like it. I was like, this is dumb. I don't like this. I don't like that. So that's just me personally. Don't take that. Takes nothing away from the incredible things that God did. That takes nothing away from the amount of work that the team put in to make it work. I just personally didn't enjoy it. It felt so far from everybody, and everybody was so spread out, and you couldn't hear each other singing, and there wasn't like a space. It didn't feel like us. It just felt like we were sitting in a parking lot with some Walmart pop-ups, which turns out that's exactly what we were doing. And I didn't love it. And so when we started to talk about what we were going to do for this spring and summer, I was saying, hey, we'll be inside by the time that spring rolls around. Masks will be off and we'll be good to go. Full-size rooms, it'll be wonderful. But that was not going to happen. So we have decided, we made the decision to go back outside. But this is the difference. I said, if we're going to go outside, I want to pray with my team and with folks about how we create a space out there that feels like an area where we can come together, where we can be together, where we can be closer, where we don't have to worry about COVID because we're outside. We don't have to worry about masks because we're outside, but we still want to be together, and we want it to feel like Living Waters, feel like our community. And so we had a great idea. Let's buy one of those giant tents and get a tent and then create a space and a stage and space around it so it feels like an area we can be together instead of spread out under the Walmart pop-ups. So then we said, good idea, let's do that. And we got online and started looking for tents. And it turns out a lot of people are buying these big tents right now. So we have a plan. Tonight, we're going to go to Common Block after they're closed. I need everybody in on this. If you're not going to help me raid Common Block, you can't say that you heard what I just said. So we tried to buy a tent. We found a tent. They're super expensive. Their prices are off the map. And then we said, okay, we're going to buy that one. And it's X amount of dollars. How much to deliver it? That's another $2,000. Okay, when does it get here? Like October 2023. Oh, dang it. Living Waters outside with heaters. Woo. But this is Southern Oregon Living. Chad Nolan, who is does youth ministry, he came through with the classic, I know a guy. And so he knows a guy. So we call the guy that he knows. He's up in Eugene, and he was able to, he does events and tents and all these things. And so he sold us a tent at a low rate with no shipping, no cost. His team is bringing it down, and they're setting it up. So we went from being like, hey, we're going to get a tent, but it may not be for 2 years, to actually getting a tent. And so that's the big news. They're coming down, and they're setting it up Monday. So that's why the date is we're beginning on May 16th, because if we're not going to do something crazy with our hair on fire, it's not worth doing. And So we're going to set the tent up Monday, and then we're going to have one more Sunday where we're in here at 10 a.m., and then the following Sunday we will be out there. And so what we want to do, though, we want to have lots of tables for people to sit at. We got to get our use out of the Walmart pop-up things. So we got to use those for the tables. We're going to have seating inside the tent. We're going to have seating around the tent. And then we're going to create some really cool planter boxes and some different things like that to kind of create a little bit of a space that feels like us. And so the big news is that we're moving out of this room, and we're going to be going outside for as long as we possibly can. If the weather's bad, we've got a tent to hide under. If the weather's good, we can spread out, and it'll be wonderful. We'll be able to be outside and taking some of those things that maybe are hindering people from coming together. There's that side of, I'm concerned about COVID. There's the side of, I don't want to go be in a room where I have to wear a mask, and that's valid all the way around. But to be able to say, no, let's go outside where those things are taken off the radar and just come together. Why? Because we feel very strongly like God is speaking to us that there is a season ahead where coming together is going to set us up really well for the moving forward that we want to do. And so many things and dreams that he wants to put on our heart. But before we go charging off into those things, we wanted this space to be for several months for us to be able to be in one place together and to enjoy that community and that camaraderie that we have. And so that's what we've been praying for, that direction for our team and our leadership council. also making this decision to purchase the tent. And the fun thing about owning a tent is that we'll be able to use it for different events and different things in the future. And who knows, maybe it becomes a space that we love. Maybe it becomes something that is a part of us. And in some of the summer times or the spring times, we go out there. And so to have that tent is going to be amazing. And so I think, and I'm believing this, I'm believing that we're going to come out of this season more galvanized and more together than we expect. It feels like we're sometimes fragmented. Things are going in different directions. People are going in different directions. But I'm believing that surprising, miraculous connection has been taking place. And we want to celebrate those who are with us. We want to celebrate those who have joined us along this journey. It's been incredible to see how God has even used Living Waters outside the last time we were out there to draw people in and to connect with people. And so families have joined us and people have joined us along the way, and it's been incredible. So last thing I want to say about this is that for us to pull this off, it's going to take a ton of work. So I want this to be an opportunity to invite you to get involved. I want to invite you to get involved with First Impressions team and our gatekeepers team. As we're outside, our teams have been a little bit smaller over the last season because we haven't ramped everything up to where it was before. And so we've been operating with smaller teams, and that's been great. But now as we shift to this different thing, we need more folks to step in and say, I can help, I can be a part, I want to be a part of this. And so we need First Impressions team, we need Gatekeepers team. We obviously need Kingdom Kids. Kingdom Kids is going to be a massive undertaking. We're going to use this room for Kingdom Kids. We're going to use their current space for Kingdom Kids. We're going to use outside space for Kingdom Kids. But if we have the number of adults that we expect it to grow to, the number of kids is going to be a lot. And so we are not going to expect our current team to have to handle that all by themselves. And so what I'm saying to you is, for this to work, it means that we all have to participate and jump in. And so Kingdom Kids is going to need a lot of adults who can step in and help them. We need building, painting, prep volunteers over the next couple weeks as we set up the tent on Monday and build out the space that we're going to have out there. We need people who can just give time during those weeks to come down and volunteer and help us work on things and put things into place. And then we're going to probably need an expansion of our setup team on Sunday mornings, our teardown teams, people who would come early, help us get things going, people who would stick around and help us clean things up. Now, here, I didn't mean, if I just painted a picture of us, like we're going to leave the tent set up. It's going to be out there. And the space that we create is going to stay set up out there. We're not crazy. We're not going to like put it up, take it down every week. But we want to build something that is consistent, that it stays the same, but we also know that it's going to need a lot of people to get it done. So if you could join us in making Living Waters Outside a reality, text the word, text I can help, or text me, or text I volunteer, or whatever you want to text. It really doesn't matter. It's the number that you text it to, 541-982-4576. We'll get everybody's name that's texting in and saying I can help. If you can help on any of those things, and then we'll text you back and you can share with us what it is that you can do and where you would like to jump in. So get out your phones for just a second. And 541-982-4576. If you would like to help us make this a reality, we would love your help. So a couple other things. We won't have the live stream on the 16th and on the 23rd. So in with all the production stuff and moving everything outside and all that goes into that, we were realizing the amount of boxes that we had to check was massive. And so we're going to not do live stream for the 16th and the 23rd. If you are joining us on live stream, and that is typically how you connect in with Living Waters, we're still going to be making some content for you on Sundays and releasing that. It just won't be during the live stream. It won't be during the 10 o'clock hour, but we will be pushing something out for those that are connected with Living Waters through the live stream. And we want this also with not having the live stream. We just want it to be an invitation for those that can to come on down and join us and participate with us and be with us on this. And so, anyway, that's the big news of what we're doing. We're excited. We are so pumped for this next season. And we're, not that we do everything because of whether I like it or don't like it. There was a lot of good stuff about Living Waters Outside that was rad. And just personally, I am excited about being able to create a space that feels a little bit more like home. So when we move out of this room, that we can go over there. And then the goal, I'll say it out loud, and you guys can just pray for this to be the reality. The goal is that we would move out of this room my team is like, please don't say this, is that we wouldn't have to move back into this room, so that we could move out there, and that we could spend several months out there, and that we would be working in that time, we'd be working on the big space. And so when it came time in the fall to move back inside, that we would have our space at a point where we could join back together in there. One thing that Kate and I have high value in the future is that this would never, for as long as possible, that this wouldn't become a 2-gathering or 3-gathering church again, because there's such a power and such a value in being together in one place. And so moving back into this room means we would have to do multiple services. If we're able to move back into the big space and renovate that space and get back into there, we would be able to continue with, I think it's supposed to seat 700 people or something like that. So our heart is that we would move from here, we'd be outside, then we'd go back inside to that room. So there's the big news. That's what I got for you. That last bit, that's fully by faith. So pray with me that becomes a reality.